Is their lobbying spending high to you, an unusually high amount?
Well, it's the highest it's ever been for Amazon. And you can ask the question, well, what exactly is it that they're lobbying on? Perhaps a better question is, what aren't they lobbying on? It's net neutrality. It's tax reform. It's just about everything on the tech side that you can, but it's also education and immigration and even aviation. Amazon wants to put drones everywhere. So you add that all together, and it serves to reason that they're going to be spending a significant amount of money, particularly with the backdrop being a new Trump administration, new presidential administration, right, a new Congress too, and you want to have great representation that you're having at the table in any and all of these discussions, and that's one of the reasons why you see Amazon, along with many other tech folks, lobbying up during 2017.
Kim, is there anything that you think regulators will seize on? We spoke with a congressman last week. He's concerned about the Amazon Whole Foods effect on jobs. Senator Cory Booker, I'm not sure exactly what the substance of his issue is about this deal, but do you think that this one could start to run into some regulatory problems?
I think that there is an increased attention being paid to just how big Amazon is becoming. You know, 10 or 15 years ago when it first started its Washington presence, its main issue that it cared about was things like online sales tax. And since then, it's grown exponentially, moved into a lot of new areas. It's not just an ebook seller anymore. As Dave said, it's moving into drones. It's moving into having its own logistics fleet to deliver its own products. It has a streaming service now. It's announced its big Whole Foods purchase. And I think what you're seeing is lawmakers and other policymakers are starting to just see how many other areas that Amazon is moving into, and they're starting to say, hey, this seems like it's getting really big really fast. Is this something that we should care about? And I think that's also pushed along by just how big Amazon and other major tech platforms like Google and Apple have become. You know, they're the highest market cap companies in the US right now. And I think it's just starting to get a little bit more attention about, should we be paying attention to just how dominant they are and what that means for competitors in the market?
But Michael, how dominant are they? I mean, at least by conventional antitrust metrics, we're talking about market share, and unless you define the market as all of online retail, and even there they wouldn't have something significant.
No, I mean, there's nothing approaching monopoly power really in any particular segment. I think that there is this sort of general vague sense that they are too powerful across certain channels. And what's interesting is they get criticism from two different sides. Today there was that consumer group that said, well, they say they're discounting prices from a list price, and really maybe the discounts aren't legitimate.
The FTC complaint.
Right, exactly. On the other hand, they're blamed for predatory pricing, using their advantage in the profitable cloud business to drive prices too low for people to compete with. So exactly how are they supposed to say that they're not anti-competitive?
I have a question for Dave and Kim. Maybe you could take a crack at this one. Given that historically the antitrust policies in the U.S. were always measured against what it did to the average person, what it did to consumers, you have a whole series of the new tech companies where really, frankly, the beneficiaries of this have been the consumers. Isn't that really Amazon's best case?
Dave?
And that's going to be a case that they're going to be making. In a way, you have lots of Democrats who are saying, oh, this week, I don't know if this is really that great. They're making a case to the FTC that we need to kind of slow roll this here. But Amazon is playing defense and offense, and Amazon is lobbying up in the way that they're doing so right now, in part because they want to make the case to not only lawmakers, but also regulators that this is going to be something that's not just good for Amazon, but also good for consumers, too. That's why you pay the big bucks for big-time lobbyists. That's why they have 4 former members of the House and Senate on their lobbying roster, which is dozens of people long. So add that all up together, and they've got a pretty good team here, and one of the best teams in Washington on the tech side of the ledger. It's a very significant force, to say the least.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.